Yes, we're continuing with little essays toward truth. Uh, but first, today, February 27th, 2023, 56 years ago today, my brother Mark and I took an insanely large amount of dose of LSD at Joshua Tree National Monument in Southern California, in the desert. And I talk about it a lot because it was a big day in sort of my magical life. But the most important probably part of the whole thing was after that amazing psychedelic experience, we drove my blue Volkswagen bus, the 1960 Volkswagen van. It had the Panics written on the side and a painting of my blue Mosrite guitar on the side. Once we felt good enough to drive back to Costa Mesa, which is a couple-hour drive, that is sitting in a beer bar in Costa Mesa, is when it just occurred to me that I've got to marry Constance. And she was back in Nebraska. And it was 56 years ago today, well, tonight, I guess, that I stumbled back past the pool table, past the pinball machine, and to the payphone to call her up and ask her to marry me. And it was her birthday. And at the time, I had forgotten it was her birthday even. But anyway, I was still pretty much frying on acid when I proposed, because it was a cosmic thing, okay? Don't laugh, but it was one of those things. I just couldn't imagine a future without her. And it was sort of like I didn't know why I proposed, and she didn't know why she said yes, but she did. And so that was so not only is it her birthday, but it's also the anniversary when I proposed. Another little strange thing is when, after about 4 years of marriage, we both decided, just without hesitation, that it was time to have a baby. And Constance wanted to have the baby be born on her birthday. And so she calculated exactly when we should forego the precautions of birth control, and when we should actually conceive. And sure enough, the baby was due right on her birthday, February 27th. Well, her water broke on the 27th, but the baby wasn't delivered. Our son Jean-Paul wasn't delivered until 6 hours later into the next day. So his birthday is February 28th. But as I posted this morning on Facebook, he lives currently in Macau, China, which is on the other side of the international date line. So even though he was born on the 28th and she was born on the 27th, they celebrate their birthdays at least many hours at the same moment, on the same day with two different dates. It's a birthday miracle. Anyway, that's my little thing. Today's her birthday, and so we're having yams for breakfast, which is her favorite. Okay, we are on Little Essays Toward Truth. The back cover tells what it is. In Little Essays Toward Truth, Aleister Crowley examines 16 concepts fundamental to human existence in the light of the Holy Kabbalah. These essays are a philosophical tour de force in which he discusses, each in its turn, various of the powers, attributes, and experiences that go to make up man. It is one of Crowley's most mature works, and since it is addressed to the intelligent skeptic rather than the specialist, it forms a lucid introduction to the path of the wise. This edition includes a new foreword, diagram, glossary, bibliography, and index. And this is hard to get little thing now, but it was originally published, this edition, by New Falcon Publications. Back in 19 91. It was originally published in 1938, and this is 1991. So it's kind of hard to get. But if you scroll down on my page, Facebook page, you'll see where I posted a link to a PDF of it. Maybe not of this edition, but of the text. We are now on wonder. We've done man, we've done memory, we've done sorrow, and now we're on wonder. A little more than kin and less than kind are the trance of sorrow and the vision of the machinery of the universe. This latter being the technical aspect of the apprehension of the law of change, which is also a trance of the same order as that of sorrow. Now, one mode of victory over all these is the trance of indifference, in which one stands aloof from the whole matter. But it is only one mode, and, in the generally known form, fully understood, of falsehood and imperfection. Full of falsehood and imperfection. For to stand aloof is to affirm duality, which is itself the root of sorrow. To attain the highest, one must unite oneself with all things, partake in all as a true sacrament. And this motion leads to the trance of wonder. It is written, quote, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom," unquote. Here the predicate offers to the opening of the grade of magus, but the subject, duly translated, reads, "the wondering at tetragrammaton," and so refers to this trance. For herein one is wholly identified with the universe in its dynamic aspect, and the first synthesis of the understanding thereof is this amazement at the fitness and the necessity of the entire mechanism. For, given the formula of manifestation, the need to conceive and perceive perfection by means of the symbolism of imperfection, the actual process of ideation becomes apodictic, or true, beyond a doubt. as I write for the least instructed of the little children of the light. The trance of wonder arises naturally. It is the first movement of the mind. From the final phrase of the oath of a master of the temple, quote, I will interpret every phenomenon as a particular dealing with God, with my soul, unquote. For immediately the understanding illuminates the darkness of knowledge. Every fact appears in its true guise, miraculous. It is so. Then how marvelous that it should be so. In all trances of importance, and most especially in this, the postulant should have acquired the greatest possible knowledge and understanding of the universe proper, or properly so called. His rational mind should have been trained thoroughly in intellectual apprehension. That is, he should be familiar with all science. This is evidently impossible on the face of it, but he should aspire to the closest approximation to perfect adeptship in this matter. In other words, learn all you can about all you can. You'll never learn it all, but try to get as close as you can. The method most possible is to make a detached study of some chosen branch of one science and a general study of epistemology or philosophy. Then by analogy, fortified by contemplation, a certain inner apprehension of the unity of nature may grow up in the mind, one which will not be unduly presumptuous and misleading. But our work demands more than this. The neshama, or the intuitive mind, must also be furnished with knowledge and understanding of those planes of nature which are inaccessible to the untrained sense. That is, he must pursue our methods of vision with indefatigable ardor. Now, in all this, the true unitive and transcendental science is that of mathematics, for the Ruach, and its crown, the Holy Kabbalah, for the Neshama. By this means, the work is not, as would at first seem, increased beyond human capability. There is a definite critical stage comparable to that familiar to the adepts of asana and dharana, after which the terms of the equation, like the latter terms of binomial expansion, repeat themselves, though after another manner, so that the meditation becomes progressively easier. The postulant, so to speak, finds himself at home. The added knowledge is no longer a burden to the mind. He is able to throw off the gross facts which present themselves as complications and to apprehend their essence in simplicity. He has, in fact, succeeded in developing a higher function of the mind. The process is similar to that which occurs in ordinary study of science when one, by grasping the nature of a general law underlying diversity of experience, is able not only to assimilate new facts with ease, but to predict new facts wholly unknown. One may instance the discovery of Neptune from the mathematical considerations without optical research, and the description of unknown elements by contemplation of the periodic law. Let it be known that each such step in meditation is in itself emotive energy capable of inducing the trance of wonder. And this trance, like all others, grows in sublimity and splendor with the quality and quantity of the material which is furnished to the mind by the adept. Those, therefore, who affect to despise profane science are themselves despicable. It is their own incapacity for true thought of any serious kind, their vanity and pertness, nay, more also, their own subconscious sense of their own shame and idleness that induces them to build these flimsy fortifications of pretentious ignorance. There is nothing in the universe which is not of supreme significance, nothing which may not be used as the very keystone of the rainbow arch of the trance of wonder. It is necessary to add but one brief word to this elementary essay. This trance is, of its nature, not only passive and intuitive. Its occurrence floods the mind with creative energy. It fills the adept with power and excites him with a will to work. It exalts him to the atzilic world. That's the highest of the four Kabbalistic worlds, archetypal world. It exalts him to the atzilic world in his essence, and in his manifestation to the briatic. That's the second, the soul intuition, the creative world, if you will, archangelic world. In a very special sense, therefore, it may be said that the postulant is most intimately united with the Supreme Lord God Most High, the true and living creator of all things, whensoever he attains to enter this most majestic pylon of the trance of wonder. Well, that's it for Constance Mass Monday. Tomorrow we'll celebrate Jean Paul's birthday here. He's celebrating right now. Tomorrow we'll tackle Beatitude on Little Essays Toward Truth. And that's it for today. Continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.